So what I found out in my research is that type 1 represents most of the elementary schools. Kindergarten up through 6. So I'm going to use type 1 as my attribute selection for step 4. So now I'm going to select by attribute, and I want to select the layer Lane Schools, and I'm going to use the field type equals, and I'm going to choose the number 1 and choose OK. So now I have selected just the schools that are elementary schools according to my analysis. Again, I want to save those as a separate shapefile or feature class. So I'm going to go Data, Export Data. I'm going to make sure it's going in here, that it's a shapefile, and then I'm going to name these schools. What am I going to name these schools here? I'm going to call these schools Lane Elementary, I think is what I decided to call them. Let me look. Yeah, Lane Elementary. So I'm going to name it Lane _ ELEM. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to call that Lane _ I want to add them to my map. That file ended up in my correct data folder. I'm going to clear my selection. I'm going to get rid of the Lane Schools, and now I'm left with just the elementary schools. So one of the things that I asked you to do early in the lab, I'm going to pull this over, is to keep a process summary of your subsections or your subsets, what you did to them, what they were called when they were an input, and what they were called as an output. And you'll need to include this in your final projects. So we started out with the input was school location. I did a select by location within Lane County. I exported my data and I called it Lane Schools. My second attribute was the input was Lane Schools. I selected by type 1. I did an attribute selected. Exported it as Lane Elementary. Okay. Now my next one is going to be a query, and I'm going to also track what my input is and what my output is for that. So you can see I'm starting to build quite a few extra files.